comedian Jim Davidson. He was also among those who was wrongly accused of sexual offences and has joined calls for Cressida Dick to go. Good morning to you, Jim.
Good morning, Julia.
Thanks very much for joining us. What you went through was remarkably similar, actually, to what an awful lot of other very prominent figures, political and TV and other personalities who have gone through over recent years with historic sexual offences, whether child offences or sexual assault accusations, where after many, many years of being in the public eye, accusations are made, all very public, police investigations, all very public, very difficult to you defend yourself, and then everything's dropped, and then everyone expects everyone to carry on as normal. Why do you think that Cressida Dick is responsible for what happened to you and should go?
I don't think she's responsible for what happened to me. I think I was just swept up in it all going on. And although it was damaging and really scary, I was sort of okay because it wasn't underage sex, and B, obviously I was innocent, and C, I had the support of the public. I didn't hide away. However, I did get Paul Gambaccini call me after I had received the no further action, and Freddie Starr, who were absolutely distraught. Their lives seemed to be ruined. Now, Paul Gambaccini is one of the nice people you could ever meet, and he was beside himself. Yeah. So much the fact that he called me and said, what do I do? How do I do this? They've already made their minds up. That seemed to be the thing. And although Cressida Dick was only the assistant commissioner there, I think the bloke was Bernard Hogan.
Bernard Hogan, yeah.
What's his name? Hogan. They're all a bit funny, aren't they? All these commissioners. I mean, look at this bloke Blair that's just gone on. Is it because of his name that he's a bit daft? He is saying...
Oh, you've just cut out, Jim. Your microphone's just gone.
Ridiculous. The what?
Your microphone just went. You just mentioned Blair and then moved on. So let's be more specific here. Okay, you mentioned people like Paul Gambaccini, Freddie Starr, Cliff Richard, of course. Also, that was the most high-profile event where there seems to be this sort of turning upside down of our criminal procedures, which is you're sort of guilty until you can prove yourself innocent. And often in these cases, because the cases don't ever come to court, because there often is no evidence, you don't even get the chance of being fully exonerated in a court case, and you end up with this situation. A lot of people, losing work, the nudge, wink, wink. Yes. Every time someone Googles you, these things come up, and then there's all that, no smoke without fire. How does that affect you personally?
Well, it didn't affect me really, because I didn't get the wink, wink, no smoke without fire. I think I was the straw that broke the camel's back. It certainly affected Freddie, because although Freddie got no further action, he wanted his day in court, and that backfired on him. And it was heartbreaking for all of us to see Freddie just fade away and die. They're the greatest entertainer we've ever had in this country. It affected the others a lot worse than me. And I won't have a go at the police. The police on the ground were very thorough and very good and very fair, but they rolled their eyes a lot when they were mentioning that the people were not complainants anymore. They were victims, even before anything had been worked out. I was told later by a attendant who was part of the setup of U-Tree that they did no interviews with people regarding me. So when I said to them, look, hang on a minute, they said, look, these people are to be taken absolutely truthfully until you can prove that it's wrong. I said, that's a bit upside down, isn't it? And of course the policewoman rolled her eyes and said, that's what our bosses have told us. Yeah. So the old adage of lions led by donkeys, that sticks with me.
And that's the thing. I mean, Operation U-Tree went on for a very long time. It was a trawl. I mean, pretty much it was sort of every single person who was on telly during the 1970s and 80s seemed to get a knock on the door. And the assumption was, well, any claim ever made against you was true. And you were expected to prove yourself innocent. Again, impossible to do years later without often knowing what the charges were against you or who'd made them.
Well, it was a bit crazy. In fact, Bobby Davro, now a mate of mine, says he has a 1970s copy of the Radio Times, which is called the Sex Offenders List.
But again, and we laugh about it, but this is devastating.
This is the British way of coping. But there are people that are not laughing about it. Alex Belfield, a friend of mine, he is being terrorised by the police and backed up, of course, by the BBC. And it's an exact mirror copy of what Paul Gambaccini is going through. These people shouldn't be going through. Harvey Proctor, accused of being involved in a murder. What is going on?
And so for you, Cressida Dick, though, as the head of the Metropolitan Police operations for some time, since 2017, long after you were arrested, but for you, she needs to go, that she is still, enabling this to happen, and she should go.
Well, anything that Mayor Khan supports is obviously defunct. So that'll do it for me.
Jim Davidson, we're going to have to leave it there. Time's